I am again at the Trident Farm. This is a full-time job, I'm telling you. But luckily today it's going a little bit better, so we just need to kill off these dudes here. And then we need to go around and do a few little odd jobs that are required to maintain the shops upstairs in the shopping district. So I'm going to go over there, and first job is to head to the post office where I need to share out the profits. So if I go to my shopping cart, in here you will see, yeah, that's right, 24 blocks of diamonds and 58 diamonds. That is our profits from the shopping district this time round. So what I'm going to do is take them to the shop profits chest, and I'm just going to drag them across 6. So each person's profit this time round, 4 blocks of diamonds and 10 diamonds. So I'll just pop those into all the mailboxes and then we'll get on with the next job, which is to gather some enchanted books to add to the bookstore. So I'm down here in our mending villager's cave. I've got a ton of books, ton of emeralds, and I'm just going to keep trading with him and see how many books he'll give me. So over in the Guardian farm, I need to do myself some enchanting. I've got these tridents from the drowned farm, and I need to start enchanting them up with mending, unbreaking 3 and impaling 5, so I can then put them into the shop. So I've got a load of mending books obviously that I've already traded, and then I should have some impaling books like that one. Oh, that's only impaling 4. Okay, so let's put mending on here, and we'll try and get impaling 5 a little bit later on. So I'm going to go through and do as much of this as I can. And we are done, so I'm going to switch off the dispensers here because having that clock running all the time can cause quite a bit of lag. And I'm going to head over to the shopping district where I think I'm ready to reset the shop. Okay, so back at the shop, and all of the sand is now gone. So that means all I need to do is grab out those boxes. So I've got the prizes in here. And then I also need to grab some pickles and start getting the shop all sorted. So I'm going to come back once I've reset it, because obviously I don't want to do that on camera. That's going to give the game away. So the shop's reset. Let's look at the prizes. A trident, a set of 8 sponges, 9 stacks of sea lanterns, a set of tropical fish, including a puffer fish, 3 stacks of puffer fish for making water-breathing potions, 2 conduit kits, and finally a selection of prismarine blocks with prismarine bricks, and a stack of dark prismarine. So I'm going to sign that. This is round 3. And we can pop that up here. Come and get your prizes now. We are ready for business. And don't forget, you can buy tropical fish here. They're really pretty. Enchanting all of those books reminded me of a job that I've been wanting to do, so I'm going to head up to the enchanting tower right here. We have got a whole load of enchanted books from early days AFK fishing and collecting and enchanting and all sorts, and they are just strewn all about this little room. So what I need to do is to start going through and seeing which ones are pretty good, which ones are kind of average, which ones might be able to be combined later. But I don't want to do that up here. I want to, first of all, take as many of these books as I can, sort out which ones are already pretty good, and then put the other ones into the shulker boxes. And then I'm going to go and work on a little project down in the desert area. So I'm going to sort out these books, and then I will come back when we're ready to start with a new build. So here we are over in the desert, which is the sort of industrial trading area, and every shulker box you see behind me that is not yellow is filled with enchanted books. That is how many we've managed to collect over the course of this season so far. So I want to start building something here where we can house them. Now over this way we've got the villager trading hall. So if we pop round, you'll see this first row is the librarians and the cartographers. So what we need to do is to have a way that we can get our books from these guys and then immediately go and put them next door. I think that's going to be the best way of doing it. So if we come round here, you can see that the Lego and Benji and T-Briggs have already dug away this large wall here. So basically I want to put something up against that and then span it all the way over to the villager trading centre. Now I think that just behind this wall here is the skeleton grinder. So I think it'd be quite nice to sort of link that up and make this into more of a complex where everything can be accessed. We've already got the mob grinder there, obviously, that's really close. So if I pop down here, I already dug around this, which is quite nice. I can go through around the side and see how close we are. I think we're pretty close. Oh, very close. Okay, great. So the shulkers are right there. So that means this opens directly into this little alleyway around the skeleton grinder. Ah, that's perfect. That is perfect. That means that I can have an access tunnel to the skeleton grinder through here. Great. And the other thing I'd like to do is to have an access to those villagers from this central trading hall, so you don't have to walk around every time. So if I make a hole here, then we can get to them really easily. Perfect. Right, so I'm trying to build up this entranceway here, and what I want to do is try to keep it in fitting with this side. So that's 4. So this should also be 4. At the moment it's only 3. Okay, so I'm going to have to shift that over a little bit. Basically what I want to do is to try and keep it in fitting with what's already been built. I don't want to make a completely new style of building, right? They've already done a great job making it look really good. All I have to do is make it fit in. So I'm going to go away now and probably come back with a bit of a bigger update in a minute. Okay, so we're starting to make a little bit of progress now. So I've kept this same design as from this entrance over here, but I've made it a little bit grander by putting some red terracotta set back behind and another archway. This part here at the front, I've decided I would like to be kind of an entrance foyer to the mob/industrial complex. So you come into this area here, you can choose whether to go trading with villagers, you can go to the skeleton grinder, or you can continue through to where the library will eventually be. Over here you've also got some pumpkin, sugarcane, melon and crop farms, so we'll kind of incorporate that as well into the build. And what I've done is basically take this roof design that they had earlier on, probably see it a little bit better from over this side. So you go up, you've got full blocks, slab, 2 deep blocks and then 2 deep slabs, and probably the best place to see that from is up here a little bit. Basically I've done the same thing but just followed round in this kind of curved shape. Obviously at the front it looks pretty janky, but that's gonna change. That was some terrible parkour. That's going to change as I start to build it up. So what I'm going to try and work on now is this sort of atrium, and I think what I'd like to do is to have it come all the way back to this wall here and then have the hallway coming out. And because the theme of the desert area is sandstone, red terracotta and semi-modern, I think I'm going to put some sort of glass atrium over the top of this. I think that will look really cool. I think that will look really nice. So I'm going to start working on that and come back with another update. Alright, so I have put in the bare bones, emphasis on bare bones before we go in. This is just the beginning structure. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more detail put in afterwards, but I think this is the shape that I want to have. So you walk into here, you've got this glass ceiling. I went with the normal glass because that's what they've got on the roofs over there. It's what we've used on the side of this mob farm and on the skelly grinder. It sort of fits in. And then just some red terracotta and sea lanterns as details in the roof. And I think this is really nice. I think this is a nice open, airy atrium. So we can put some details around here and it gives you your choice. You can go off to the villager trading hall or you can head over into the skeleton grinder over this way. So this is coming along quite nicely. I think what I want to do next is try to work out how big this space needs to be. So I need to go away and do some research on how many enchanting books there are and therefore how much space we need to be able to fit them into this space. Before I do that, let's light up this so none of our villagers get eaten. And the answer is 34 types of enchant as of 1.13. A couple extra for 1.14, but we're not on that yet on this server. So, this is what I've done. I've done a 17 long corridor and I've put them in alphabetically. So you go from Aqua Affinity all the way down here past Feather Falling, Efficiency, Knockback, switch round to here for Looting and Loyalty until eventually you get down to this end and Unbreaking. And what I've done is I've had a look at what is the maximum level you can get for each of those enchants. So for example, Aqua Affinity is just a 1 level, so there's nothing more you can get from that. Either you have it or you don't. Bane of Arthropods, on the other hand, it's possible to get 5 different levels. So you can reach these chests from here, by the way. So that means I've got 1, 3, 4, 1, 1, 3, 4. So we've got all of the correct numbers, and I think what I'll do is I will have level 1 on the bottom here, going up to level 5 at the top there. That kind of makes sense to me because these are going to have level 1s, right? So what people can do is they can come over here, do their trading. So we could trade with this guy, we get close enough, and get our Lure 3 books for 37 emeralds. What a deal that is. And then we can go through here and we can very easily go along here. So L is over this side, Lure 3 would go into this chest, right? Now obviously there are some instances where you, or probably quite a lot of instances, where you'll actually get more than one enchantment. And I think what we'll do is we'll just have people put the best enchantment. So for example, if you've got a Smite 5 Sharpness 1 book, stick it in the Smite 5 because that's what people are going to want to use more. If you've got, for example, Thorns 3 and Silk Touch, well, let's be honest, Silk Touch is much more useful, so we should put it into the Silk Touch chest. And what we'll do is we'll kind of leave it up to people's judgment to judge what they feel is the best enchantment on the book, and then they can put it into the right slot. Because, well, that way we should have a pretty fair distribution of what people think is important. So I guess a lot of people are going to want to have mending books. This will probably get quite full. But when this is full, if you get a book with mending and something else, which I'm not even sure is possible actually, then just put it in the other one. So maybe if it was loyalty, then chuck it in there, right? So that is going to be our Enchanted Books sorting system. And as you can see, it actually fits in really nicely. So here, if I just put that there, we can have a diagonal doorway. So let's just build that up there. So this is a 3 wide gap, but that looks kind of like a 4 wide gap because it's on the diagonal. So I can build that up in a similar sort of way, and that means that we can go through here, and then that will take us to the sugarcane, pumpkin and melon and crop farms, right? And on the other side, we can go through here, and that will take us to nothing at the moment. But I've had a little thought about what I would like to put over here. So, but I'll leave that. I'll leave that as a surprise yet to come. So the job now is to start, not like that, start building up these walls because I want to kind of encase this as best as possible, so that we've got a nice corridor here, and this then is going to look nice and feel like I've completed a stage at least of this building. So I'm going to go away and do that, and then I will come back and I will see you at this point. Ta-da! Here it is. This is as completed as it's going to be for this episode, the Enchanted Books Trading Hall and Foyer. So let's take a little peek around, shall we? As you can see, I've changed this up quite a bit, this entranceway here, and I've put in those two side doorways. Let's take a little quick peek down here. So you can see I've got just a glass wall and haven't got a roof or anything there yet, but this is looking pretty good, I think. Over this side, same thing, but just with sandstone over there. Now, the main feature obviously is this bit here, the Enchanted Books storage area. This hasn't really changed on the sides obviously as much, but you can see the end. I've built up an end to this place. I've also put a roof on. I decided to go with white stained glass in the end because it just looked like too much having the normal clear glass that we've got here everywhere. So I've kept that as white stained glass and just put some struts down the top. Repeated the top design down the from this end piece here, well, which we'll go up and have a look at in the end. And yeah, I think the best thing to do now is to go up and have a little fly around. So you've got this entrance foyer with this kind of, it looks kind of like a little spaceship or something down there. And then you've got the Enchanted Book sorting hall at the back, which I think looks really cool with this white roof. I really like it. And I think what we'll try and do is try and incorporate that over onto this side, so that we can incorporate some of this as well, so it's not all outside. We might just put a wall around, not have a roof, because I quite like this design from Lego of these farms, so might try and keep that visible and just put some sort of wall around, so this is kind of like an outdoor area of the complex, right? And I think it looks really good. I think it looks really industrial, so I'm really happy. Now, there is a little bit of a surprise around the back that I just decided when I came on this evening. I was just going to come on and record the outro because I'd already finished building this, but I just thought I'd have a little play because these were just holes. I thought, well, we need some kind of doorway, right? And so someone coming up to this, they're not going to really know how to get in. Like, do we have to break the blocks, or I mean, what happens? And it's nothing. You don't need to do anything. You just walk up to this wall. It opens like so, and you walk straight through. I really like it, and there's T-Brick starting to sort out the Enchanted Books. Isn't that cool? I really like this. I really like this. And I'm so proud of myself for figuring it out. Because I just decided I wanted to do it now, I didn't bother going into Creative World. I just got some bits and pieces and made it, and I'm really, really pleased that it worked. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. It's a pufferfish tripwire design. I don't know if you've seen them, but basically what you do is you have a pufferfish that's on a slab. So obviously that's a waterlogged slab with a pufferfish on top. And so you can see, if we head back here, just wait a second, he's just a wee fella. He's just a wee cute little fella, right? As we get a little bit closer, a little bit closer still, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Oh, okay, so he's started to get a little bit more puffed up, and then he goes really big. And when he gets to that really big stage, he actually activates this tripwire, which is then hooked up to pistons, sticky pistons, either side of this doorway to open the door. It's probably not the most complicated redstone circuit you've ever seen, but I'm really pleased I managed to work it all out. I managed to get it to fit in quite nicely. I decided to keep this open here just because I really like being able to see the pufferfish. I think that's kind of cool looking. But from the outside you can't see it at all. And in fact, this red carpet doesn't even need to be here. I might take that out, because then it's just going to look exactly like these two sides. Even the door design is similar, just with a slightly higher arch. So actually there's no way to know, unless you do know, that you can actually get through this door. So I think I'll keep that as a hidden door. These carpets have to be here. These ones on here, because otherwise you would fall on top of him. And having worked with him for a long time, I can tell you it's not a lot of fun falling on top of a pufferfish. It's really quite painful. Anyway, we will leave it there for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you're as pleased as I am with this design for the Enchanted Book storage system. And obviously there's still a lot of detailing that could be put in, but for now I'm going to leave it like this. So I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.